Hi everyone. I'm sure that a lot of you have been wondering where I've been and what I've been up to for the past, actually a couple of months almost. And the answer to that is I've been writing an ebook, and you can now find it on Amazon Kindle. I've decided to return to making videos with a follow-up on this Chinese elm, which we worked on somewhat late in the year last year, because it needs some serious work right now, and because we're at a point right now in its development where the kind of work that we're going to do is going to make a difference. So let's take a look at it and see what we have here and kind of relate back to the last video. The two lower branches that we took off, which were dead, we were hoping for some new growth. And we actually did get some new growth. We got a really nice shoot growing out here, which will fill this space nicely. The only problem with it is this shoot came off the back branch rather than directly off the trunk. So part of what we want to do is take the tree back some more with pruning in order to try to stimulate a better located shoot off the trunk if we can. If not, then we're going to wire this out and develop it and then work with the tree as it is. The other problem is we have a lot of legginess to deal with here, and we need to push the growth back in order to increase density and get better ramification on the branches. So let's get started. We'll start out by taking a look at the lowest branch. And we have some growth here which may be dead. We usually take this back in stages and look at it as we cut to see when we're getting to live growth. And at this point, we still have a dead branch here. Now, around here, we want to come back in a good ways. We know we can because we do have some inner growth coming up here. So we're just going to go ahead and come back here and back here. And into here. And then back here, and we've still got a good bit of greenery on that branch. This is actually from the branch directly above it. And we're just going to keep coming back here and take this back until we get the density and the ramification that we need to have. So we just keep going here. Now the good news is we're getting a lot of green growth off this tree, and it's healthy enough that it should respond quite well to this pruning. Now this growth has to come off because it overlaps that branch. And now we start getting into some proportional issues, so I'm going to step back and take a look at the tree and figure out how to proportion off the branches that I've. You can start to see what I'm doing here with the tree. I've cleaned up several of the lower branches, and I'm trying to reestablish the tree's proportions. So we're just going to keep pruning. Now this new branch that's coming off the back branch that may be our new lower side branch, we're going to leave it full length, let it thicken a little bit before we cut it back. And then the branches above it we're going to try to reduce proportionally as we continue to reduce the tree's canopy in an effort to try to get denser growth. Now, I'll warn you now, this tree is not going to look like a bonsai when we're done with it. It's going to be pretty bald, and it's going to take a while to recover, but hopefully in a few months we'll come back to it and it will have thrown on enough new growth that we can really start to style it. So let's keep going here. Now it's okay to cut into bare wood on a Chinese elm at this time of year if it's budding back like it is here, because it's going to replace that growth pretty easily. We're in early spring right now, and this tree is coming strongly out of dormancy. So it shouldn't have any problems, and it should respond really well to this pruning. We're going to hit it with some fertilizer, some high nitrogen stuff like blood meal, shortly after we finish the pruning. And that should really kickstart the growth. Now, if this branch comes up a little bit, may have to be wired. Going to look into that later. Right now, growth is far more important than shaping. And we've got a lot of these little diebacks in here still. And we really need to get this thing to bud back into these areas here in order to restore the density that it needs to have in order to look its best. Take that off. And okay, this is getting us very close to where we want to be with this tree. We're just going to take a few more small branches off the apex. You may notice that I've been shooting this from a single fixed camera angle. My videographer is out of town on family business again. Now we're just going to take a little look at it and try to see where it is. And I think we, aside from a few little straggly branches here and there, I think we're very close to where we should be with it. Just take off last few branches. Okay, here's the tree with the pruning completed. And here's a close-up of the tree so that you can see the branch structure that we've tried to open up and get down into. And you'll see it's pushing new green leaves all over. And like I said, it's very healthy. And now that we've opened the tree up, we should get even better growth, and we should start to get back the dense planes of foliage that a really good Chinese elm bonsai should have. So let's do a slow 360 now and show the full tree the way that it is now. And like I said, we'll come back to this tree in a couple of weeks. Thank you for watching, folks.